Do you love summer trips? Oh, the joy of being able to explore new places during this carefree period. Hey, everybody. Welcome to my channel, Ghostly Whispers. Today we'll be looking at 3 summer trips that turned into nightmares. Make sure to watch each one because they get progressively worse. Let's go. No. 1. Wyoming Plateau. Summer is the season of freedom, road trips, adventures, memories that feel endless and bright. But behind that beauty, some journeys leave scars that never fade. Tonight, I'll tell you 3 stories. 3 summer trips that should have been harmless, but instead turned into real nightmares. And maybe, after listening, you'll think twice before you hit the road. Our first story comes from Reddit user Tangent. I grew up on a ranch in Wyoming. Every year when the crops came in, we'd haul hay for neighbors and friends. We always made it a point to set up camp at Flaming Gorge Reservoir in northern Wyoming. It was about a 3-hour drive from our home. We'd fish, swim, and let the kids run around. After graduating high school, 4 of us, Alex, Nick, Jack, and I, decided to make the trip one last time. We bought a case of beer and loaded up the Jeep. We drove up a rocky hill overlooking the reservoir. After opening the first beer, we shouted and laughed into the wide open air. The view was beautiful. As the sun started to sink though, I noticed a red pickup truck stop below us and back up to where we were. At first I assumed they were coming to set up camp, but it was odd they chose such a busy spot. I continued drinking while watching them maneuver. I could see them now, a tall, skinny guy and his girlfriend. When the man walked out, he didn't wave or look friendly. He crouched down and tested both the Jeep's doors. I yelled down, "Hey, what are you doing?" The man looked up and smiled, revealing a missing front tooth. He raised his hand. Sunlight flashed on the cold metal glint of a gun. My blood ran cold. I grabbed Nick and Alex, hiding behind the Jeep. Jack, being the idiot he is, took a swing at the guy. "Get away from here." The man raised his gun. "I'm warning you." The man's smile faded, replaced by a look of pure hatred. "That's pretty brave, but you're gonna regret that," he spat. He dropped his cigarette and crushed it under his boot. As he climbed into the truck, his girlfriend called his name. "Jason, you promised." "Shut up, Bianca," Jason yelled. "This family's got a gun too. Why don't you just shut up and grab my wallet?" I heard him shout to his passenger. "There's nothing in there," Bianca replied. "Well, good. Let's go." Then they were gone. Realizing we'd have no phone service, Alex decided to grab his wallet and head into town to call the cops. "What good will that do?" I asked. "They're already gone. If anything, we'll get a big fat 0 and maybe a nice sunburn." Alex paused. "True. Well, I guess we can't do anything about it now. So let's hope the cops catch him." On the way down, I noticed the man had smashed the Jeep's window. We watched as he emptied our stuff on the ground. "It's not like they're gonna find him," Nick said, kicking a rock, "and we're probably better off without the crap anyway." I could hear the anger in his voice, even though he tried to sound nonchalant. After grabbing our stuff, we hurried to the car. I could still hear Nick yelling at the couple who had ruined our last hurrah. When we reached the bottom, Jason had already gone. There was no sign of him. Jack kept insisting we should chase him down, but we wouldn't. We all knew it would lead nowhere. Before leaving, Jason took his revenge, destroying the Jeep and our last opportunity to enjoy our beloved campsite. Wyoming Plateau wasn't a place of freedom anymore. It was a chilling memory. Now, Wyoming Plateau reminds me of this video game. Number 2, a strange town in New Mexico. The heat was getting to me. I was already imagining our Jeep breaking down in the middle of nowhere. Our car had seen better days. Plus, we hadn't planned this trip very well. My friend Luke and I had moved from California to New York together. When our lease ended, we decided to visit his family in Kansas, but we had to drive halfway across the country. That meant a long journey. But I'd forgotten just how long, and it seemed we had barely begun. It was August, and the temperature outside was making me sweat. So when I saw the Gas City sign flashing green in the distance, I breathed a sigh of relief. Soon enough, we pulled into the parking lot. While filling up, I noticed a weathered sign that read, "Welcome to Tucumcari, New Mexico, where the past is always present." Nothing about the town gave off an inviting vibe. By the time we had paid for gas, I was ready to hit the road again. But I couldn't help but notice every road led us right back to the center of town. I asked Luke, "Are you seeing this? Every street looks the same. We must be going in circles." "Yeah," Luke replied. "According to the GPS, we are still on the right road. Don't worry." But I wasn't reassured. Suddenly, the GPS flickered and died. My stomach sank when I realized my phone had no signal either. We pulled into a parking spot outside a grocery store and I headed into the AC-cooled shop. There, I asked the cashier for help. She smiled far too wide and responded, "The highway's far. You'll need to drive 17 miles deeper into the desert first." Her tone made it sound like a warning, but when I turned back to Luke, his face had drained of color. "Let's just go," he whispered, grabbing my hand. We rushed back to the car. I turned to Luke and said, "How much longer?" "I don't know," he whispered. "Just keep driving." We had been driving for hours. The sun dipped below the horizon, and a chilly wind replaced the oppressive heat. Just as I thought I could take it no more, Luke turned to me, eyes shining with relief. "Look, there's a road." Finally, he turned the wheel, and our car crawled onto the gravel back road. I felt a sense of relief mixed with skepticism. At last, we were on the highway. I never found out what lay down that other road, but I'm certain of one thing: some towns don't ever want you to leave. And now, number 3, a restaurant in Croatia. A few summers ago, my partner and I were backpacking through Europe. We spent most of our time exploring Greece, Turkey, Italy, and France. But one summer evening, we decided to spend a night in Rijeka, Croatia. We booked a cheap room online and headed out to find somewhere to eat. Soon, we spotted a small local restaurant. The outdoor seating was full of locals, which made us think it was good and cheap. Perfect for us. We sat down and ordered. The service was fast and the food tasty. We enjoyed a bottle of local wine, feeling on top of the world. However, everything changed when a young woman at the neighboring table got up to go to the bathroom. As she passed us, she whispered, "Run, now." We stared at each other confused, but she had already vanished inside. My partner and I shared a glance. "Did you hear that?" I mouthed to him. "Yeah," he replied, eyes wide. She said to run. Just then, the 5 men from the neighboring table stood up. "Let's go," I said, realizing she must have been trying to warn us. As we turned to leave, we heard one of the men say, "Finally, I can't wait." Another one replied, "Mine too. I hope she's worth it." We sped through the narrow alleyways, desperately trying to lose our pursuers. Their footsteps pounded on the pavement behind us. We risked glancing back. They were still close, but we had made it to a crowded city square. I could feel my heart hammering in my chest, unsure if they would dare follow. Eventually, they stopped, standing still like predators who had just lost their prey. An old man from a nearby cafe approached us, asking if we needed help. My partner told him what had happened, omitting the details. The old man listened grimly and said, "You two are lucky. That area belongs to organized crime. Not everyone makes it out." We thanked him and fled to our room. For the rest of our trip, we barely left the rented room. We slept with the curtains drawn, counting the hours until our flight home. Have you ever had a strange experience on the road? Share your story in the comments section below. And now, the ending. Summer brings adventures, but also shadows. Sometimes, one small decision is all it takes to throw you into danger. So remember, caution is never wasted, and never assume every place is safe to step into. If you found these stories unforgettable, subscribe to the channel for more, because next time, you might see your own trip through different eyes.